Welcome to Thursday afternoon and welcome back to winter, everybody. Trending colder. I'm meteorologist Andrew Humphrey, along with a few snowflakes and raindrops. How long will these be around? We'll talk about that, your 7-day forecast, 4-zone weather coming right up. Paula Tutman is with us live this afternoon. Hello, Paula.
Hi, Andrew. You know, a lot of people were asking, so what happens after the Women's March? Wasn't even a week ago, but what happens next starts right now, tonight in Detroit. Karen.
Also, first at 4, the fight over the wall. Diplomatic relations with Mexico crumbling as the battle over who pays rages on. And a brother pleads for justice as he faces the man who stabbed his sister dozens of times. First at 4 starts now. Good afternoon. Let's start with breaking news in Fraser, where the Macomb County Public Works Office is now urging residents to reduce water use because of a plugged sewer line along 15 Mile Road near where the sinkhole opened. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Karen Drew. The sinkhole has been a problem since Christmas, and now officials are worried about a damaged sewer interceptor. Now take a look. On the left, you can see the damaged interceptor line back on January 16th, where sewage was still able to flow. However, the picture on the right shows what that line looks like today. It is completely plugged. Residents in 11 communities surrounding the Fraser area are now being asked to take shorter showers. Only flush solids in the toilet, only run a full load of laundry. Don't leave your water running while brushing your teeth, and only run your dishwasher when it's full. The Public Works Office will be holding a news conference tomorrow afternoon to address the collapsed sewer line. Meantime, for the entire list of communities impacted, make sure to head to our homepage of clickondetroit.com. We're tracking a developing story in Armada. That's where 6 workers were installing a new guardrail, and 5 of the workers were shocked after getting too close to a power line. 4 of the workers suffered only minor injuries, but one, a 38-year-old from Mount Clemens, needed to be revived by CPR. He is currently in the hospital this afternoon with life-threatening injuries. Moving to Detroit, where a killer faces his victim's family after being convicted of stabbing a woman 67 times. 46-year-old Torius Inge was found guilty of second-degree murder last month for killing 55-year-old Gracie Hughes. Hughes' body was found inside her burned home back in May. Today, Inge was in court for his sentencing, and Hughes' brother made it clear to the court that it needed to be strict.
Yes, because it was overkill. You don't stab someone 67 times and think that it's a game. It's a real world.
Ultimately, the judge sentenced Inge to at least 37 years in prison with a maximum sentence of 66 years. It's a big day for auto workers as 2 of Detroit's big 3 announced their profit sharing for 2016. Ford announced pre-tax profits of $9 billion. That translates to profit sharing of about $9,000 on average for UAW workers before taxes. Fiat Chrysler made $5.5 billion, and that means checks of about $5,000 for its hourly employees. General Motors will announce its profit sharing early next month. Time now for our first look at the forecast. Andrew Humphrey is in for Ben Bailey. Hi, Andrew.
Karen, good afternoon to you. And we have a few raindrops and snowflakes out there. Fortunately, nothing widespread. You can see it's very widely scattered, but you need to be careful out there. Even if it's not raining or snowing in your area, you may be going through or to an area that was just hit. We got a few raindrops here over on the east side of the city, including Grosse Pointe, also up to St. Clair Shores. Nothing too heavy, but even a light amount of precipitation can make the roads and sidewalks slippery. A bit of a mixture right here in K-Pac and right around Emmett, where you have a mixture of snowflakes that you see here in blue, along with a few raindrops on the eastern side of St. Clair County, and more like snowflakes that are falling in portions of Livingston County and just to our south in Lenawee County. So we'll have this on and off light snow that will be around, widely scattered. Nothing we can't handle, of course. And temperatures right now mostly in the middle and upper 30s, 39 degrees currently. We'll fall to the middle 30s overall. We'll keep this rain-snow mixture very widely scattered through the evening, so just a bit slippery for the rest of the afternoon commute. Tonight and tomorrow's forecast and the weekend in a few minutes.
Amid tension over who will pay for a planned border wall along Mexico, President Trump and Mexican President Enrique Peña Nieto are canceling next week's meeting at the White House. Devin Scillian is joining us from the newsroom with the latest. And Devin, this is something that President Trump first hinted at this morning.
Exactly right, Karen. President Nieto actually goes back to last night. He announced that Mexico would in no way pay for any wall, and President Trump fired back this morning on Twitter that maybe it would be best to cancel next week's meeting with the Mexican president. He today addressed members of the Republican Party at the GOP policy retreat going on in Philadelphia. He addressed everything from immigration to renegotiating NAFTA to talking about inner city violence, in particular what's going on in Chicago. He also spoke about the need to secure our borders and why there was no point at this time in meeting with the president of Mexico.
The president of Mexico and myself have agreed to cancel our planned meeting scheduled for next week. Unless Mexico is going to treat the United States fairly, with respect, such a meeting would be fruitless, and I want to go a different route. We have no choice.
There's also been a lot of talk today about just how much a border wall would cost. Something Republican leaders revealed today is estimated right now at $12 to $15 billion. Where would that money come from? The White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer says the president is calling for a 20% tax on imports from Mexico to pay for the wall. More to come, no doubt. Karen, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Devin. Today, Democrats are responding to the planned border wall, something that Congresswoman Brenda Lawrence is calling unnecessary.
It's not a priority in the immigration plan. Comprehensive immigration plan means that we have immigrants in this country. Some of them are illegal. We must come up with a comprehensive plan for how do I get from illegal to legal.
Congress is expected to take up President Trump's request for the border wall before the end of September. First at 4, we're on top of stories making headlines all around the world your Thursday afternoon. Let's start over in Poland, where 32 people were injured in this 76-car pileup. The pileup was actually caused by 2 separate crashes. The first happened when a semi-truck rear-ended a car. Then, about 40 minutes later, a second pileup happened less than a mile up the road. Right now, 5 people are in the hospital with serious injuries. Police are investigating. Moving to Chicago, where 6 people were shot at a memorial service for a victim of gun violence. The victims ranged in age from 12 to 43 and included the mother of the person who is being remembered. 2 people are in serious condition at this hour. All other victims are okay. Police are still searching for the shooter. A politician in Nebraska has resigned after posting a controversial tweet about the Women's March. Senator Bill Kittner resigned from office on Wednesday after he retweeted a picture of a woman at the march holding up signs mocking President Trump. The tweet implied the women were too unattractive to be sexually assaulted. Kittner says he regrets the tweet, but feels he's being unfairly forced out. Meantime, the Women's March did motivate millions of people all around the world. Some people wondered, though, what happens next? Can passionate protest really turn into political action? Tonight in Detroit, we'll see some women taking action, a lesson for everyone, no matter what your political beliefs. Paula Tutman is live at the Atwater Brewery in Detroit, and I understand they are expecting a pretty big crowd tonight, Paula.
Yeah, they really are. There were 10 directives that came out of the Women's March. It was 10 actions in 100 days. The very first one was make sure that your elected officials hear from you, turning your voice into their vote. And that is what's happening this evening.
See if we can book a room with them.
Laura and Jennifer were there. They were in that crush of humanity at the Women's March in D.C., and it left an impression.
It did. It really made me feel like I felt like I've been too complacent, and really realizing that we need to try harder.
Reading people's signs was really profound because everybody came with a different story. Everybody came with a different reason or a different experience.
5 days after the march, both have been moved to turn demonstration into action.
I mean, so many things that just left me feeling complacent, like LGBTQ rights were going in the right direction. Healthcare, the Affordable Care Act was instated. So to see how all of those things can kind of go backwards and be taken away really made me realize that we need to do something.
And so tonight, they and their pals have coordinated the next step. Not just saying we went, we marched, we're done, but turning their feelings into measurable differences. Tonight, beginning at the Atwater Brewery in Detroit, they will be conducting a letter writing campaign called Pints and Postcards.
Write postcards to our senators and to our lawmakers and to our legislators.
They know this is the first step in turning all of that emotional capital from the march into something that lasts. And much like the march, a small social media campaign that said, hey, come out. Let us show you how to write a congressperson or a senator. Let me show you how to turn your voice into their vote. That small ask has turned into something else. They started with 300 inquiries and ended up with more than 1,000 RSVPs through social media.
So we have a list of cabinet positions that are still being discussed. We have a list of potential issues like the Affordable Care Act people might want to write about, and people are able to choose the issue that they feel speaks most to them.
Yeah, as much about education as it is action, so this is how organized they are. They actually have things that have been going on right here and how they affect you in your community. Then they tell you the steps to take. They've got the addresses to your local and your U.S. representatives. It's in the Atwater Brewery District, and it starts at 6:30 to 9:30. Get here early. They've got overflow actually planned for another venue in case this place gets absolutely packed, which actually, Karen, they expect it to.
It sure does look like that with all those RSVPs. All right. Thank you so much, Paul. Appreciate it. Talk show legend Oprah Winfrey moving into a new business. How she's hoping to tempt your taste buds ahead. First at 4. Also, a major food company is hoping this bag of chips might help stop someone from driving drunk. And Kimberly Gill is standing by with good health.
Hi, Karen. Good afternoon. We're talking about so-called body shaming. We already know it makes people feel badly, but it could be doing serious damage to your health as well. That story is coming up after the break.
Coming up all new on Local 4 News at 5 and 6.
Are you one of those people that's always late for work? Don't worry, you're not alone. We've got the most common and uncommon reasons why people are late.
In good health today, information that could help you protect your children from car accidents. Kimberly Gill is here with some information that was kind of surprising.
Yeah, it is kind of surprising. A lot of people might think pedestrian accidents involving children happen near schools, but there's some new research that shows that that is not the case. A civil engineer at the University of Colorado looked at 30 years of crash data across the country, and he found child pedestrian deaths are up to twice as likely to happen around parks instead of schools. And he says safety programs are paying off around school zones, but parks aren't getting that same attention. Car crashes are the leading cause of death for Americans between the ages of 5 and 24. So it's a good idea for parents to watch their kids closely at the park and teach them to be careful, just like you would if you were talking about the school.
Right. Have that extra conversation.
Exactly.
Also understand you got a story that deals with body shaming, and obviously we know it's mean, but it also can be harmful.
That is true. This is research that just came out. It found that so-called body shaming or fat shaming does not motivate people to lose weight. A lot of times people think that if you body shame them that they might lose weight, but in fact it has the opposite effect. A study of 160 obese adults found those who internalized negative stereotypes like being lazy or ugly had an increased risk of developing cardiovascular disease and other health issues. Researchers say people who feel ashamed are less likely to exercise and more likely to use food to cope with stress. So not that it would ever be a good idea to do that, but here's research that says, to
recognize how serious it is.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, Ken.
Sure.
Well, here's some encouraging news from the West Coast this afternoon. California's exceptional drought is over for the first time in 3 years. A group called the U.S. Drought Monitor says only 2% of the state is still in extreme drought conditions. At the worst point, 60% of the state had exceptional drought. Recent powerful storms and a lot of snow in the mountains have helped boost California's water supply, which obviously is some good news as you worry about all of those fires that normally start spreading in the spring.
And hopefully those deeper underground aquifers continue to fill up. So that would be good.
That would be good news.
Around here, we're seeing some water as well, both in frozen form and in liquid form.
All right. We knew it was coming.
Yeah, I know. Don't worry too much there, Karen. Fortunately, it's very widely scattered. As you can see here on 4 Live Radar, still got a couple of raindrops here around the city. Remember a few moments ago I showed you the east side of the city, the raindrops that were there. They've now almost moved away completely. Grosse Pointe Park getting a few raindrops right now. While to our north, we're still seeing a bit of that mixture here in western St. Clair County and Sanilac County. Always looking out for our friends and neighbors up north as well. A couple of snowflakes here just to the east of Lapeer. Same thing south of 94 and south of Michigan Avenue in our southern zone. From Lenawee into Monroe counties, you can see a couple of areas of blue right here indicating a few areas of light snow or flurries. Same thing north of Ann Arbor in our western zone over in Livingston County. 39 right now. Visibility pretty good. Winds out of the west though at 21 miles per hour. Pretty breezy. And those breezes will bring in some colder air. Not much colder, but seasonably cold as we go over the next 7 days. Back into the low 30s, where temperatures normally are this time of year in terms of high temperatures as we go into the weekend. We'll talk about the possibility of snow for Saturday and Sunday in just a couple of minutes. But for now, 39 for our friends in Mount Clemens. And many of these temperatures, even though it's chillier than yesterday, still about 5 to 10 degrees higher than what they are on average for this time of year. And in some of these places where it was snowing, visibility's improved a bit in Howell and Lapeer. But just within the past 30 minutes, I've seen visibility go down to 2 miles or less. So if you have snowflakes in your neighborhood, be on guard for low visibility in those areas if you happen to be driving this afternoon. You can see winds right now on the breezy side in your neighborhood too, anywhere from 15 to 20 miles per hour or more. So although we're seeing temperatures in the middle, even upper 30s, it feels like it's in the 20s. So this is what we need to dress for if we're going out this afternoon or this evening, taking the family out to dinner. Wind chills right now mostly running below freezing, well into the 20s. Feels like 25 over in Howell, feels like 24 in Pontiac, feels like it's around 28, 29 degrees down in Monroe. And colder air will continue to pour in. Not much colder to our north, no below zero readings or anything like that, but it remains seasonably cold as we go over the next few days. With these pulses of low pressure that move through, it's going to keep the clouds in place and also give us another round of a couple of snow showers as we go into both Saturday and Sunday. But I'm not talking about heavy accumulation, fortunately, but it will keep us on our toes because it will make the ground a bit slippery. So 28 degrees overnight. For at least the evening hours, a few more mixed rain and snow showers that will be around, widely scattered still, nothing too heavy, nothing too widespread. 34 for a high on your Friday, seasonably cold but still breezy, so wind chills will run in the 20s. Saturday and Sunday, a few snowflakes here and there, Karen. Temperatures around the freezing mark in the afternoon. And as you can see, remaining winter-like with some sunshine, though, coming back on Monday, but temps in the low 30s early next week. Back to you.
Thanks, Andrew. Oprah's Magic Touch has sold millions of books, and it's giving Weight Watchers a boost. Now, she wants to change the way you eat fast food. We've got that story ahead. Up first, a hotel disaster caught on tape. We'll be right back.
These days, a lot.
Take a look at this. It's a hotel disaster that was actually caught on video in Peru. Oh my goodness. Look at that crash into the water. Authorities say it started raining last week. It didn't stop for 10 straight hours. The foundation of the 3-story hotel was eroded by rising river waters. Finally, as you saw, that hotel just collapsed. Now, luckily, all the guests had been evacuated, but the heavy rains are expected to continue. All right, let's talk today's trending stories. Oprah, as we all know, really did change television. Well, now she wants to change the food business. The former talk show host is teaming up with Kraft Heinz to sell a line of ready-to-eat refrigerated meals. The venture is called Mealtime Stories. The goal is to make real, nutritious products widely accessible, and 10% of the profits will go to anti-hunger charities. Also trending, just in time for the Super Bowl, Frito-Lay has a new way to help you drink more responsibly. Take a look at this. The company created a party-safe bag for its Tostito chips. The bag doubles as sort of a breathalyzer. There's an alcohol sensor inside. If you breathe into the bag, the sensor turns red if it detects alcohol and green if not. If it does detect alcohol, you can get a $10 Uber code on the same day of the big game. Still ahead, Lego lovers of all ages will be amazed by this parade creation. We'll be right back.
It's something I never would have seen myself doing.
Strong, determined, motivated.
It carries over into our everyday lives.
I'm Kimberly Gill. How these women are lifting each other up and discovering just how strong they can be.
Choosing to be skinny is fitting into a societal standard where choosing to be strong is personal strength.
Tonight at 11.
My wife was.
Finally, first at 4, Hong Kong is celebrating the Lunar New Year with a really big parade, and a rooster made of Legos is getting a lot of attention.
You heard Karen right, everybody. A rooster. The rooster on this float is made of more than 200,000 Lego pieces. The tourism board hired only Lego professional builders to create this 6.5-foot tall statue.
Took them quite some time. They say they chose Legos, of course, because they represent family and lots of kids love them.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us for First at 4. We're back in a half hour with Local 4 News at 5. Inside Edition is next.